Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We just watched Ninja Busters, and we're gonna talk about it now. And yeah, so a little background on the movie. The film was rescued by two film fans from New Jersey who flew to the West Coast to find a cache of film prints, some which had canister had rotted all the way through. They were devastated, and but regardless, they brought a couple hundred film prints home, including this film called Ninja Busters, which no one had heard of. But a quick search on IMDb at the time basically yielded no information because there was what the fuck is this movie? Well, I guess a few years later, some of the work had been done. They found out all the information they could, and apparently the film, shortly after being filmed, it was picked up by a distributor who did some test screenings and then disappeared into the night, which apparently was not an uncommon thing that happened in the 80s, because there was an absolute glut of movies, because the video boom had just gone. So a lot of times these companies would buy a bunch of movies and then overextend themselves, get a few tapes out, and then because there's a fucking tidal wave of tapes, their tape doesn't sell that well, and they go out of business, and there's a bunch of titles that never got released. I mean, we've gotten tons of those released in the last few years. In fact, Scream Factory's released a few that just never got released because of things like that, like Blood and Lace, So yeah, that's just this film was made by a bunch of martial artists who just really love martial arts and martial arts films. So the martial arts in the film is actually pretty solid. A little silly, but it's because it's a martial arts buddy comedy. So, all right. So, yeah, this is my buddy Owen. He's that was the longest intro I think I've ever done.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's all right. It happens. But you never get the same thing twice. It's always fun and different, right? Anyway, at least I'm not a robot going, oh, well, welcome to the same 5 things at the beginning of the show. It's like, oh, you're just, yeah, no, I just go for it. Just go for it. Anyway, why don't you take us through this movie, huh?
I'll try. So where do we even start with this? I never picked up their names, so.
It's Buddy and Chick.
Buddy and
Shit?
Bernie
and Chick.
Bernie and Chick.
Yeah.
Chit.
Chick. CHIC.
SHIT.
It's Eric Lee and Sid Campbell, and they're apparently karate grandmasters. But they're not actors, clearly, in the film.
They're working at a warehouse, if I remember the beginning, and they learn that it's a front for a bad guy. I guess I'll just call him a bad guy.
Drug lord, basically.
Yeah. Certain crates marked with a dragon have either drugs, guns, apparently diamonds and gold. So once they learn that information, they decide to crack one open, which they get caught by the owner. They go in the whole spiel, which we should bring up because they mention it a bunch. One's claimed to be the
student of Bruce Lee,
and the other one was the teacher of Bruce Lee.
Bernie was the student, and Chick was the teacher. He taught him the tiger yell and chess, and I don't remember. There was one other thing he taught him, apparently, quote unquote.
The boss doesn't believe any of that shit, and they're promptly beat up.
Nobody does. I like to point out that throughout this movie, that's said 3 times in 12 minutes. No, not one person through the course of this movie believes them for a single fucking second.
Yeah,
maybe the waitress, but she was dumber than bricks. So
yeah.
Well, her character was dumber than bricks, I should say.
But yeah, they get knocked out. Then they go to the restaurant with the waitress, tell her the same spiel. They then tell some bikers the same spiel, and the bikers beat them up.
God. 2 of the bikers, beard guy who doesn't show up again till the end, and Hispanic gentleman follow them to their dojo afterwards.
Yeah. The beard guy was my favorite because he didn't like the insult that they slung at him, so he rips his underwear off and throws it at him.
He literally rips his underwear off and throws it at him and tells him, "Tell your Chinese friend that I need those starched."
No starch. They don't want starch in their underwear.
Oh, right. Because it rides up their asses when they're on their motorcycles.
It's like,
Those sweet bikes that look like three-year-olds ride them. That's the insult that Schick lobs at them in the bar.
So after being beat up twice in a single day,
and twice in 8 minutes, I'd like to point out,
they wander down the street and decide they're gonna be creeps and stare at girls doing martial arts.
Yeah, which, by the way, we made mention of this in the movie, but this is the scene right here where they're staring through. Yeah, these male characters, let's just say they're sexist as fuck. There's no way around it.
So they're gonna join the gym. They're gonna join the dojo. They're gonna train, but really they're just there to hit on all the females that are there. That's their entire plan of joining, is to hit on the chicks, like shooting ducks in a barrel, as he says.
Oh God, ducks in a barrel. So this movie is often intentionally hilarious and unintentionally hilarious. So I don't know if that was supposed to be wrong on purpose or he just didn't know the correct phrasing, or the fish in a barrel. Instead, ducks in a barrel. So I don't know. That's the kind of movie this is. You don't know what's honestly bad and what's accidentally bad or funny, as it may be. Depending on the joke. Some of the jokes are really bad.
And more than half the movie, I'd say, is in the dojo.
There's like 3 montages of them training over the course of 3 years. Oh, that's right. So they go to the dojo, and while they're there, they the Hispanic biker and the other biker come back, and Beard Man come back, and they start harassing him, and Hispanic gentleman gets roped into becoming a student. And Bernie and Hispanic gentleman decide that once they've gotten their black belt, because they start a fight, and General Akamura, who's also, if you'll remember from Samurai Cop, he breaks it up and says that they can't fight like this. And he says, if you want to fight, get your black belts, and then you can fight. And someone says it's going to take them 3 years, so we got a montage for every year, I'm supposing.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's like 30 minutes of this movie is that moment. It took 30 minutes to get to that point, and then 30 minutes of the montages and like little character moments that are awkward because no one can act.
Yeah, and throughout this whole time, they're hitting on chicks. They're being rejected. Then they kind of shrug, go back to training. Eventually, they both. One of them gets a girl. The other one just gets a friend.
Yeah, poor chick. He just He pretty lay.
Yeah. Although at one point it sounds like she's gonna have pity sex with him.
Yeah,
that's the way it sounded. Like,
she was gonna give him pity sex. That's basically what it was. Yeah, I thought the first time I saw this, that felt awkward, and the second time it felt even more awkward. Like, oh, it really is really awkward.
And her only reason for not dating him, even though he's a nice, great guy, was that he's clumsy.
Yep, that he might hurt her, I guess, in bed. Was her implication? The way she kind of tiptoed around that, but
yeah, you go to a family reunion and you'll trip in the soup.
Land in the soup, yeah. Trip on the couch and land in the soup. You're like, oh, Christ. Maybe, but that doesn't mean he's a bad person. So she was not a very good person.
So finally, the two guys fight. It's been 3 years. They finally have black belts. They're gonna fight. It ends in a draw, I guess.
We don't. It freeze frames right before they knock each other out. Apparently, because neither of them can decide who won, and they both finger each other as the winner when the waitress asks who won the fight.
Yep. And now they're best friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think that's the idea. That was Sensei Akamura's plan, right? Was to make them not fight, and then they'll become friends through camaraderie. You know.
Sure.
I mean, you know, and then I love it. One of the teachers during all these segments goes, "Why do we even have these guys here? They're just an embarrassment." And he goes, "They never learn anything. Like maybe they're not here to learn. Maybe they're here to teach. Like what can we learn from them? We're learning a very important lesson in patience." Is what Gerald says, which I thought is actually actually one of the better moments in the film is that segment, that little piece. So.
Yeah, and then the other one's like says something about manslaughter.
Yeah, you're gonna end up committing manslaughter.
It's gonna kill him.
He's gonna get so frustrated in the murder room. Apparently,
one of the guys that runs and owns the dojo also just randomly has a nightclub down the street.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. He has, and he's also apparently a gang boss, because he's got like thugs and shit that work for him.
Yeah. So now the movie just takes a complete turn from like an hour of dojo training and creepy
friendship,
creepy chick watching,
and silly buddy cop moment or buddy comedy moments.
The two doofuses, that's what I'll call them.
Bernie and Cheek. Bernie and Cheek.
They see the guy they used to work for that beat him up, the criminal, get in a car, and they're like, "Hey, let's follow him." Because
they know they're bad people, and I guess they're karate masters now, so it's all right.
They follow him to a junkyard where there's a gun dealing going down. But before we get to that, let's mention the guys they're selling guns to. These African-American gentlemen.
God. The African-American gentlemen in battle fatigues that are patterned in cheetah print.
Cheetah print.
And they have machetes and crossbows.
And they got berets on.
Yeah, and apparently they're communists.
Communist.
And it's awkward and racist and like a mixed bag of both. It's weird. And it's not intentionally racist, mind you. No one's thinking racistly.
And they randomly have a sheik with them.
Yeah, like Middle Eastern gentleman or whatever. Like I like, what the fuck? Oh man, this movie, I love it. I love it so much.
And then the bald bad guy, the one that they were following, he brought ninjas, and all hell breaks loose. And
then ninja busting finally happens.
Yeah, which is great because before the ninjas even reach the African American group, they half of them are like fucking shot.
Right?
They're just shot.
Fucking dead.
And then when they do start fighting, most of the ninjas get absolutely wrecked. They like just get destroyed by like punches and stuff.
I wish if we were to do this as a video edit, right there would cut to like a ninja flying backwards and then screaming pause and the words "wrecked" with flash in hot pink letters or something. Like wrecked, because that's what happens, and then it would happen again. And you just every time that happens, you just pause and it goes wrecked. You know,
it's just ridiculous. Like they're supposed to be these highly trained ninjas, and they just kind of like scurry in, and there's just this one giantly muscular black guy with no shirt on, just tossing them through like car windows and clotheslining them.
Oh my god, I love it. So to be fair, okay. So while the acting is not great because none of these people are acting, the martial arts is very well done and well choreographed because these people are martial artists, and so that part's really entertaining. I mean, I found most of the fight sequences at least interesting and of high standard for this quality of budget production in this era. You know, it's no American Ninja, but it's not it's only trying to be. It's not actually gonna make it that far. That only has like a quarter of the budget, you know.
Yeah. So in all this mayhem, Bernie and Chick are like hiding in a car. They finally decide they need to get out of there, and some ninjas see them and chase them down. They beat up the ninjas, get in their car and leave. Go back to the. They're heading back to the dojo.
Right.
And there's this really weird, unnecessary scene where one of the masters is getting a massage, talking about how his wife left him in a flashback.
It's a flashback for no reason, just out of blue. Akamura gets some backstory.
The girl who's like walking on his back as a massage, who's with Bernie.
It's his girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, he hears them and he runs over. She runs over to see him, and randomly a ninja comes in, walks on his back, and then gets off. And then the girl comes back and gets on his back again. Like, there was no point.
Comedy moment. Just a laugh. Just wanted to elicit a laugh from you. It was hilarious. I laughed mightily.
And so they're like, there's ninjas after us. And they're, you know.
But see, now, like, here's the thing. They intended that to just be a laugh because they thought it was funny. I laugh because it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it makes no sense.
Like, he could have just got on the guy's back and just stabbed him with a sword.
Yeah. Or just not been there at all.
But, yeah, they're like, ninjas are after us. And their friends like, oh, you're just hallucinating. And then the master randomly throws something. Well, not randomly. He chucks it in the corner and a ninja falls out.
I know. It's great. Oh, ninja.
And he's like, check out my imagination. Something like that.
Some imagination or whatever. That was actually one of the better lines, and I fucking forgot it. You're right. That was good. I remember going, that was a great line.
Ninjas flood in, and they beat him up. And then they decide to go.
I want a remake of this movie. That's what I'm saying.
And they're like, hey, let's go hide in the nightclub because ninjas won't attack us there. But of course, the lights go out and a ninjas attack. And now this is like a 10, 15-minute long scene where we don't even see the main two guys anymore. There's like a random hippie guy who has a gun. Like everyone just has guns.
Of the club fighting the ninjas, except for Bernie and Chick, who are there, but for some reason, I'm guessing they're hiding.
Yeah.
And they just keep, they're chicken shit.
Yeah. The ninjas come in the hallway, get shot. Another ninja comes running down the hallway, gets shot.
Yep. Oh my god, it's like a video game.
And then randomly Bernie and shit are there, kicking people. And they decide the ninjas are after us, we'll split up. And the master goes, that's a good idea. And then he's like, what are the girls going to do? We're going to all stick together. So he tells them to go by themselves, but then he says, no, we're all sticking together after telling them to go by themselves.
No, I don't. Continuity is not a strong point in this movie. In fact, I believe you noticed someone's hat disappeared for an entire scene.
No, there's that random scene where there's like kids breakdancing. One of them's wearing a full baseball uniform, the pants, the cleats, the jersey, the hat. And then they come up and start dancing, and I'm pretty sure it's the same kid, completely different outfit.
Yep.
Just random.
And it comes back to that outfit when they're walking away.
There's another scene like that too.
Yeah, there's more than a few. I've seen this now twice, and I noticed more things this time than last time. So it's like this movie rewards. I'm sure every scene has some Where's Waldo like hidden gem in it,
Oh, the other one is when they first show up at the dojo, check out the chicks. They have bandages and bruises all over their face. And then you cut to them not having it. So I'm have to assume it's been a while and they're back.
Yeah, it was not clearly stated.
It seemed like it was only 2 minutes later. They're like, here's your gis, put them on.
Right. And then okay, so there's a joke here that Owen missed because it's kind of a martial arts joke almost. So they take their belts and they go to tie it once and the belt's on. Oh, let's just do it twice. And and it's kind of like it's in like a joke, but unless you've done martial arts and actually worn a gi, you will know that you actually do loop the belt around twice to prevent it from untying itself. Because it basically loops itself like this, and then there's another band around it, and that one doesn't shift the knot as much. So so they make a joke about that. So they accidentally put their belts on properly. And that's the joke, right? But I don't know who that joke's. That joke's like a martial artist joke in the middle of this movie. It's like a dad joke out of nowhere. Like what? What the fuck? Where'd that come? I felt like I got blindsided by a martial arts joke. We get the number of that bus.
Yeah. So they don't split up. They run into a 80s. I mean, it's made in the 80s, but a jazzercise. Bunch of girls jazzercising.
Yes. Can we join your class?
Yeah, women only.
Can we use your phone? Like, whoa, Jesus Christ!
It's right there. But the ninjas are too smart. They've already cut the phone line.
Yeah, and then they fall from the rafters.
And they bust in, and
Ninja.
like 10-minute ninja fighting scene.
Yep.
With girls screaming the whole time.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so annoying. And then they get away. And then, where are they again when the ninjas attack?
Warehouse.
That's right. At the final warehouse, the evil lair of the dragon sound.
First, the women got kidnapped.
Oh, right. That is true. They did get kidnapped.
The master's like, do you know anything about these ninjas? And they're like, they work for a guy we used to work for. What do you know about him? He's got a warehouse. And luckily that's happened where they took the women, was the warehouse.
Well, yeah, and they worked at the warehouse at the very beginning of the movie, too. You forgot about that. That's where we're introduced to them, and they accidentally stumble upon... The reason why they know this warehouse exists is because while they're at the warehouse at the beginning of the movie, they stumble upon a cache, or an illegal box, basically. One of their coworkers tells them, everybody knows they do illegal shit here. All the dragon-marked crates have all the illegal stuff in it, and they get caught trying to break into one of those and get fired. And then they're feeling sorry for themselves at the diner when those bikers harass them. That's we forgot about that.
No, we mentioned all that in the beginning.
Did we? Oh,
that's why I started.
Son of a bitch.
Anyways, they get there.
The movie has melted my brain twice. All right, give me a little slack.
They pull a gag off the girl, and she's like, "It's a trap." I'm like, no shit.
Duh.
Now the bald boss is there. For some reason, even though he has ninjas, he brings a bunch of fat dudes, a bunch of fat redneck looking guys, and they're like, attack. And this is where the final showdown is. They're fighting ninjas. They're fighting fat guys. There's a fat guy that gets kicked twice in the background, which I don't know if you noticed. He gets kicked twice, doesn't do anything, and then he just goes in and starts fighting another guy. Like nothing happened. Like he didn't know what he was supposed to do. Like
he pulled a finger, huh? Yeah. I don't need to take that. I'm good.
During the fight, there's randomly a phone in the back of a truck.
I know, what?
The biker calls up his buddies as he's strangling a ninja with the phone line.
Which is actually a really cool moment. I like that. I was like, that's great. That's fucking a great moment. There's a lot of really great moments in this movie. It's just, there's a lot of bad acting, too.
The bikers show up. For some reason, like, it's such a quick cut that you don't even, like, almost realize it, where the old bearded guy that we see a lot that was with the younger biker comes in and just, like, strangles the main bad guy.
Just fucking strangles his ass.
And that's like
a 3-second cut.
Yeah, that's all you see of the main bad guy being beat.
Yep. They didn't film enough, apparently.
There's a big brawl going on. We hear police sirens. They all just stop fighting and stand there like they didn't know what the fuck to do. And then it just cuts to the dojo and they're honoring their 3 members. Which there's a weird cut to the 2 girls that they look angry. Because the girls were fighting there too. They didn't get jack shit.
I know, right?
And then it cuts back and he puts the medal on the big, tall, white doofus with the mustache.
Chicken.
And he falls at the camera and then boom, credits. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, it's full of silly synthesizer music and really lame gags and jokes. If I saw this when I was like 10, this movie would have been the shit, dude. These jokes would have been perfect. It's juvenile humor, right? So as a juvenile, this movie would have worked perfectly. There's no cursing either. There's no gore. This is literally kid safe too. It's
basically Jackie Chan and Jim Varney. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jim Varney. Jackie Chan and Jim Varney ran around. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Wow.
The ending was like the build-up and the boss, but like you didn't even see the 2 main guys beat up the boss who had him beat up in the beginning. Like there was no satisfied conclusion there.
I know. Well, it's not well written either.
We just have to assume they were arrested.
Chick wrote the movie, so you gotta forgive him. Not even joking. He's
like,
credited as the writer.
Like, we just have to assume the cops came in and arrested all the ninjas and all the other people. I guess that's what happened.
So this was directed by Paul Kiriazi, and he also directed this movie that I'm going to make us watch at some point called The Death Machine. Another martial arts film. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun little thing. Maybe I'll say that for like near the best of the bad next year. I don't know if it's bad. I've never seen it. But I own it. That much I know. So, yeah. So, did you like the movie?
I don't know.
I fucking love this one.
Like,
I love every movie of Best of the Bad. Every last one of them I love.
There's some funny bits, but like just the middle was just like, what the fuck is this? What is going on? And I started fucking tuning out. See,
like movies like this, honestly, do better when you're hanging out with multiple friends and you're all having like shouting at the screen and drinking or doing whatever enhancements you want to do if you do any of that. But you know, like it feels like a large crowd would be perfect for this because you get people who've seen the movie quoting lines. You get people who are like certain aspects of it, and other people who don't like other, and they'll be howling laughter at all the jokes and all the bad moments, and you know, like it becomes more experience when you have a group of people. So, honestly, if I could consistently get 3 other people to watch the movie, I'd have us watch all the movies with the group. You know, we would still only just do this by ourselves, but I'd consistently watch movies with the group just so we could have a howling laughter group, you know, like as we watch some of these movies. It's the only way to get through them, right? Gotta find some genuinely funny people to watch the movies with. So, whoever wants to join the psychedelic, psychedelic,
get them mushrooms.
The Psychotronic Core, that's what we're gonna call you, the Psychotronic Core. If you want to join the Psychotronic Core, and you're fucking hilarious, then I want to watch movies with you. We want to watch movies with you. Because some of these movies are fucking painful and we need someone to make us laugh. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. You gotta have to have a flexible schedule and be a night owl like the rest of us.
I'm not sure what I'd give this. I'd maybe lean towards a 3 out of 5, 2.5. Just somewhere in the middle.
That's a really fair rating, honestly.
Just straight down the middle.
Objectively speaking, that's what I give it. Subjectively speaking, I give it 5 stars. It's amazing. But I mean, I love the movie, so I know the difference between those things. You know, like yeah, it's not a well-made movie, but there's so much heart in it, and you can tell that they put so much work into it, even if it's not good. You know. It doesn't matter. It's still an interesting piece of art that should be experienced and judged for yourself. So,
I guess depending on my mood, I could shift either way.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think if we had a couple folks in here and cracking jokes and the parts that were kind of hard to follow, it would be fun, right? I don't know. Just thoughts. Anyway. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, we considered doing commentary then a podcast, but like, I don't know if I want to be on, I don't want to be like on all the time. I want to actually relax before I go live. So I don't know. We've thought about it. We might do a commentary at some point. Who knows? It would have to be a good enough movie that we wouldn't just be fucking miserable through it. So it'd have to be carefully chosen, like Masters of the Universe or something. You know, like. Something that's really cheesy, but like you could totally sit through and have fun with. Not that one specifically. That was just an example.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely not Snow Beast because I think we were looking up other movies to watch while that one was playing.
Yes, we were in fact. Okay, so what for the people watching live? What are we watching next week?
San Fran Psycho.
Fuck me sideways. This looks terrible.
I've had this
2.0 on IMDb
for years. Something randomly I got at a yard sale.
I paid 6 times as much for it, and it's on its way. I just bought it before we went live, basically. All right, so yeah, so that'll be what we watch next week, assuming my copy comes in. Otherwise, we'll push it back, and then we'll just do 2 of mine and then do 2 of yours, and go back to alternating. We'll just
do a Bigfoot movie if it doesn't come.
Oh, okay, we can do that. We got some of those too. As long as it's not Snow Beast 2, Electric Boogaloo or something.
Snow Beast, the sci-fi one.
Oh, fuck me. I'm thinking doing Snow Beast 2 and then setting it in the woods with no snow would be hilarious.
Is the Beast white still, though?
Yes! Which is why it's great. All right, so anyway. So, yeah, that rounds up the best of the bad. So hope you enjoy these 4 flicks. I certainly did, even if this is probably... Okay, of the 4 films we did watch best of the bad, Samurai Cop, Ninja Busters, what were the other 2? Miami Connection. What was the other one? Fuck. What was your favorite of those 3?
Miami Connection.
Oh, really? Okay. Ooh.
What was the other one?
What am I fucking doing? I'm clicking. Why am I going? Go here. Go here. Thank you. Christ in a crutch. All right. Let's see here. Psychotronic. Miami Connection. Dangerous Men. That was the other one. Jesus Christ. That one was a groaner.
It's forgettable, I guess.
Yeah. That should tell you. Yeah, I couldn't remember. It's definitely the least enjoyable of all 4 of those.
It's probably the weirdest, though.
Most annoyingly scored, too. And Miami Connection has the best score of those 4.
Yes.
Songs
are like stuck in my head.
Forever. I would just randomly hum it for just doing things. Like, fuck, man. Anyway. So, yeah, next week we'll see you for San Fran Psycho, most likely. 99% sure that'll happen. So, don't worry too much, folks. If it doesn't happen, we'll just push it back 1 week and then it'll happen. So, yeah, we'll push it back to his next pick, I should say. But, yeah. All right, so we'll see you next week, folks. Peace.